Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a pretty counterintuitive idea that the secret to building some serious wealth might actually involve having less stuff, not more. We're going to explore how minimalistic habits can completely change your financial future. So let's just kick things off with a question that really challenges, well, pretty much everything we're taught about success. Can owning less actually make you wealthier? The answer is a huge yes, but, and there's a but. It's going to require a few key shifts in how you think and act. So let's break it down. Here's the game plan. We're going to walk through 4 big shifts. First, it starts with your mindset, going from a consumer to a creator. Then we'll get practical and declutter your finances. After that, we'll get into the power of making intentional choices. And finally, we'll tie it all together to build real, sustainable wealth that lasts. All right, first things first. The very first step on this path has absolutely nothing to do with your bank account or what you own. It all starts right up here, in your mind. It's about a fundamental shift in your identity, from someone who's always consuming to someone who's actively creating. Okay, check this out. This data on a simple daily habit, it tells a really powerful story. There's a huge difference in how much TV wealthy people watch compared to those who are struggling. Now look, this isn't about TV being evil or anything. It's about what that time represents. Our world is literally designed to turn you into a consumer. But real wealth, that usually comes from creating. When you're just consuming, you're trading away your time and your focus. And those are your most valuable assets, period. Let's be real, we all have obsessions. Scrolling social media, binge watching a new show, we all do it. The trick is to consciously swap an unproductive obsession for a productive one. Just imagine redirecting that same energy, that same focus, toward mastering your money. Because money isn't just paper, right? It's a symbol of your time, your life force. You literally trade hours of your life for it. So doesn't it make sense to get obsessed with managing it well? This one shift can change absolutely everything. So now that we've got our mindset straight, let's get tactical. Once you've got that creator mentality locked in, you can start applying those same minimalist ideas to clean up your financial world and bring in some much-needed order. You ever tried to fix your whole life at once? You try to make a budget, cancel all your subscriptions, pay off your debt, and start a side hustle all in the same weekend? It's a total recipe for burnout. It's like decluttering your house. You wouldn't empty every single closet at the same time, right? You'd be swimming in clothes. Instead, you pick one room, one closet, you attack it, and then you move on. The exact same rule applies to your finances. And this is exactly how you do it. Just pick one thing. Maybe for the next 3 months, your entire financial focus is just creating a budget that actually works. Once that's a habit, you move on. Maybe the next 3 months are all about getting that side business off the ground. This focused approach is what keeps you from getting overwhelmed, and it lets you make real, actual progress that sticks. Okay, so you've shifted your mindset and you've decluttered your focus. What that does is it creates space for the most powerful tool of all, intentionality. This is all about moving away from default choices, buying something just because it's on sale or you saw an ad for it, and moving toward living a life by design, where every single choice has a real purpose. Here's a super simple way to get clarity. Think of your money in just 3 buckets. You've got fundamentals, that's for your essentials. You've got fun, for the things that actually bring you joy. And then you've got future. This is your wealth building engine. This simple breakdown makes it instantly clear where you stand. If that future bucket is looking a little empty, you know immediately you've got 2 choices. Either trim your expenses or find a way to increase your income. Simple as that. This brings us to what I call the buy once rule. So many of us fall into the cheap trap. We think we're saving money because we're always buying the cheapest option. But that cheap laptop that dies in a year, the piece of furniture that falls apart, the clothes that just don't fit right, it costs us way more in the long run. The minimalist approach is to buy with intention. Spend a month or 2 doing research. Buy the quality item that you know is going to last 10, 20 years. In the end, you buy way less stuff and almost always save money. Now, this is a crucial concept, the yes trap. We're programmed to say yes to things. But every single time you say yes to one thing, you are, by definition, saying no to everything else you could have done with that resource, whether it's your time or your money. Saying yes to that monthly subscription is saying no to investing that same money. Saying yes to that dinner invitation is saying no to working on your business. When you see every decision through this lens, your choices become so much more deliberate. All right, our mindset is right, our tactics are sharp, and our choices are intentional. Now we can zoom out and talk about long-term strategy. This is how all those small intentional habits start to compound into significant, sustainable wealth over time. Vague goals like, I want to save more money, pretty much never work. A much better way is something called tree thinking. You start with the trunk, a clear, specific goal like, save $10,000 in 3 months. Then the branches are your strategies. Increase what I earn, decrease what I spend. And finally, the leaves are your daily actions. To hit that $10,000 goal, you need to save or earn about $110 every single day. See? That turns a fuzzy wish into a concrete daily action plan. It's also really important to remember you can't do this alone. This journey can feel pretty isolating sometimes. It is incredibly hard to stay motivated if you're surrounded by people who just aren't on the same page. So you gotta find your community. Seek out mentors, find friends who are in a better spot than you are, people who are gonna pull you up with them. That's where you'll find the fire to keep going. When it comes to investing, so many people are out there chasing clever tricks, right? They're jumping on meme coins or trying to pick the next big stock. And you know what the reality is? Most of them lose money. The minimalist path is the boring approach. Simple, low-cost index funds. They consistently beat most people who are trying to outsmart the market. The path to wealth isn't about being clever, it's about being consistent. And finally, here is a crazy powerful strategy to fight something called lifestyle inflation. It's super simple. Live one pay raise behind. So when you get a raise, say from $30,000 a year to $35,000, you just keep living on that $30,000 budget. That extra $5,000, that goes straight to your future. It's a simple trick to make sure your wealth is growing right alongside your income instead of just letting your spending eat up all your gains. So, what's the big takeaway here? The minimalist path to wealth isn't about depriving yourself. Not at all. It's about being intentional. It's about creating more than you consume and making choices that serve the person you want to become. So we'll leave you with one final question to think about. What is one no you can say this week that lets you say an even bigger yes to your financial future? Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, subscribing to the channel is the best way to make sure you don't miss our next explainer. We'll see you then.